All right, so now let's do a couple of these together on the worksheet. You will be responsible for all of this worksheet. I'm only going to do a couple of them, then you have to do the rest, okay? So the first one we're going to do together is number 2. It's asking you which one is less than or greater than, -6 and -5. So I did a number line. There is -5 and there is -6. Remember, to figure out which one is greater, we're looking for the one that is farther to the right on the number line. So -5 is farther to the right, so it is greater, or the alligator has to eat that -5, okay? So do the same thing. That one will be hard to graph because you got to get all the way to -44. But see if you can do it visually or mentally and figure out which one would be farther to the right, and that's the one that would be greater, okay? Next, we're going to graph the numbers on the number line, then write them in increasing order. So we're basically going to write the smallest number first and then go towards the largest number. So I've got 0, I've got -2, and I've got +4. Okay, so now we're going to write them in increasing order, which again means we're going to write the smallest number first. So we're going to look all the way to the left, and -2 is the first of these 3 numbers. And then I will write 0 because that's the next number that I graphed, and then 4. So do the same thing with this. Graph these 3 numbers. Start with the number on the left, work your way to the right. All right, so next we're talking about evaluating the expression when we're talking about absolute value. So again, absolute value is asking you how far is -8 away from 0? How far is it from -8 to 0? Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the answer is 8. So now do the same thing for +25. Again, your final answer on absolute values has to be positive. Next, find the opposite of each number that's different than absolute value. We want to know, basically we're changing the sign of the number we're looking at. So if the opposite of number 13 would be -13. So here my answers can be negative. Absolute value, they cannot, they have to be positive. All right, so here's a little word problem talking about golf. Some of you may not know how to score golf, but we're going to talk about it. In a miniature golf tournament, the total score is given as the number of strokes above or below par, the expected score. So par means that's the score you should make, okay? If you were at even par, your score is going to be 0. The player with the lowest score wins, okay? So here are all the people that played. Here are their scores. Normally, we think of numbers being on the left as being smaller, and they are smaller, but in this case, that actually means it's a better score. All right, so let's mark these. So Maria made a 4 under par is what that's called. I'm gonna put an M above hers. Ashley was -1 or 1 under par. Sue was at a 1. Paul was at a 2. Kelly was at a -2. Let me move this, make sure y'all can see it. So who was that at a -2? Kelly was at a -2, and then Taylor was also at a -1. All right, so who won the tournament? We're looking for the one all the way to the right. Who finished last? We're looking for the one all the way to the left. Okay? So go ahead and get those answers. So on this worksheet, you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more problems you have to answer. Tomorrow will be set up pretty much the same way. We'll probably do the notes together on a video, and then I'll do a couple on the worksheet, and then you'll be responsible for for what's left. Again, not the way I wanted to start week 2, but it is what it is. Let's do the best we can.